This video is going to talk about the percent allocation field found underneath the user profile and beneath the resource info tab. The percent allocation value is visible in allocation reports but will not actually directly affect the over-allocation graphs found in resource allocation reports. So if we look at an example in these reports here, the only value from the profile that directly affects the over-allocation graphs is the capacity percent. You can actually still include the percent allocation along with target utilization in this allocation report as separate rows. Now we're going to take a look at what causes these percents to change and how you can set those different percents in different user profiles. Going back to my profile, you can see that I've set 100% allocation to myself, and in another profile for Mr. Bean, I've set 50% allocation in his profile. Now what Project Insight will do with these percentages is that when a new project is created, Bakery and Bistro here project, I can go to my project resources page, and a new user, in this case myself and Mr. Bean, is added to this project. Project Insight will take that default allocation from the profile of 100% and 50% and assign those as the default percent allocation to this new project and all other projects. Because of that, the value may be changed on a project by project basis by going over here to inline edit. I can change that default percent, and because of that, it may be different on different projects throughout the system. Now going back to my profile, please note that my percent allocation is at 100% and Mr. Bean's is at 50%. Let's go to this report here, and now let's take a look at how that percent is visible in this week of January 25th. So you can see that week for me, I've been assigned 12 hours, and it says that I'm at 30% allocation. Now for Mr. Bean, he's been assigned 8 hours, and he's showing at 40% allocation. Now, to check the math on this, we can simply take a look at, well, what was my default allocation for this project? For the Bakery and Bistro project, I'm set at 100% and Mr. Bean at 50%, which still match from the profiles here. Since I'm at 100% allocation, that means my 40 hours should be allocated for this week of January 25th. So to check the math, 12 hours assigned is 30% of that full 40 hours of the week of the 25th. And to check that math for Mr. Bean, those 8 hours are 40% of his 20 hours assigned to that week on that project. 20 hours because he's at 50% allocation for this project, which happens to be the default allocation in his profile, since we didn't change and make it a separate percent default from the profile. So as you can see, because of the different percents in the user profile, such as target utilization, percent allocation, and capacity, you can either have them all turned on, only a couple of them turned on, or only one of them turned on. It totally depends on how your team wants to use the allocation reports and what you want to compare these hours to. For more information about the capacity percent, utilization percent, or even the capacity percent max, please refer to our other videos and documentation.